Hello and welcome, Curious Minds. We are Artworkium.
Glad you could join us.
And if you're someone who kind of loves looking at everyday things and wondering about the story behind them, well, you're in the right spot.
Absolutely.
We've just kicked off a new series. It's called Inventive Legacies, Patents That Shaped Our Lives.
Yeah, and the idea is pretty straightforward.
Each time we grab one of the amazing patent prints from our online store.
There's actual blueprints of invention.
Exactly. And we basically pull apart the story behind the drawing, find out what makes it tick.
And we really wanted to start this as a thank you, actually, to all of you who've bought our digital prints.
Oh, definitely. Consider this like bonus content, a way to connect that cool print on your wall with the history packed inside it.
A bit of extra context.
Right. So today, we're heading into the toys and games section for something that looks, really familiar.
Deceptively familiar, maybe?
Yeah. We're talking about the domino. But this isn't just any domino. This is the one that kind of secretly added a third spot.
And in doing that, it totally changed the physical game itself, how it plays out on the table.
It solved a problem you probably didn't even know dominoes had. We're diving into document ID US1998526A.
And if you want to see what we're talking about, the actual patent print link is right there in the description. You can follow Philipp Schubert's drawings along with us.
Okay, so let's get the basics down first, the technical stuff.
Lay the foundation.
Right. The patent title is super simple, Domino.
No messing about there. I like it. Straightforward.
That's it. And the document ID, again, is US1998526A.
Got it.
It was published April 23, 1935. But like a lot of these things, the story starts a bit earlier.
Okay.
The application was filed June 16, 1933. And the inventor, Philipp Schubert, from Munich, Germany.
Munich, 1930s.
Yeah, and he'd actually filed the original application back in Germany, September 1932. Okay, hold on. 1930s Germany. Patenting a domino. Domino's been around forever, right? Why change the classic two-square piece?
That's the perfect question. Why mess with a classic?
Was it just niche?
Yeah.
Something obscure?
Well, this gets right to the core of why he did it. You think about Munich, early 30s.
Tough times. Space might be tight.
Exactly. Space was often a premium. Schubert wasn't thinking, how can I make dominoes more complex at first? He was solving a space problem, a logistics problem.
The logistics problem.
Yeah.
For dominoes, trying to fit the game onto a tiny table at a cafe or a crowded beer garden.
You've basically nailed it. Think small apartments, busy cafes, you know the scene. Normal dominoes, you lay them end to end.
Right, makes a long line.
A very long snaking line, which is super inefficient if you've only got a small table.
So the line runs off the edge of your coffee table or maybe even your train table.
Precisely. You run out of room fast.
So Schubert accidentally becomes the hero of cramped playing spaces. And his big idea was adding that third square, making the piece longer.
That's the physical change, yes. The patent calls it. A rectangular domino piece having 3 square fields arranged in a straight line.
Okay.
That third field, right in the middle, basically, that's the key bit of hardware. But the real invention is what that third field lets you do with the pieces.
Right. It's not just the piece, it's the potential.
Yeah.
I can almost hear the argument. We're not patenting 3 spots, we're patenting the geometric possibility.
Pretty much. The main goal, according to the patent, was geometric. It allows the dominoes to be put together on the table in the form of a grid composed of rows crossing each other in a perpendicular direction.
Okay, a grid, not a line. That's a big shift. Perpendicular, like right angles.
Exactly, rows crossing each other.
How does that work with a straight piece, though? How do you make it turn corners without weird rules? The patent description sounds a bit technical.
Yeah.
Transversely adjacent, the head end. Kind of loses me.
Yeah, let's simplify that. Think of traditional dominoes like laying down train tracks, always going forward. Schubert's pieces act more like track junctions or switches. They allow turns. The key rule, the mechanism, is how you place a new domino.
Right.
You have to lay it down so it forms a sort of T-junction. Or maybe a perfect cross shape with a domino that's already there.
A T-junction. Okay, I can picture that.
Right.
Like one piece hitting the middle of another one, side on.
That's the idea. To make that T-shape, the middle field of the new domino, the center one of the 3, has to touch the head end of a domino already on the table.
Okay. So the middle square of the new piece touches the end square of the old piece.
And that forces them into that right angle, that perpendicular crossing pattern. Instantly, you're not building a snake, you're building a blocky grid.
So back to my tiny cafe table. Instead of a line threatening to fall off, I'm building this compact square of tiles right in the middle.
Exactly. Solves the space crisis.
That's clever.
Right.
But wow, that must totally change how you play. It's not just matching ends anymore. It sounds way more strategic.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where the fun really gets dialed up. In the standard game, you match one number, one end.
Simple enough.
But with Schubert's pieces, because you're always making these T-junctions or crosses, most of the time you have to match two numbers at the same time.
Two. How does that work?
Because the piece you're laying down touches two other parts of the grid simultaneously.
Whoa. Okay, wait. Two matches on two different sides across a corner. That's a big jump from just finding one match.
It really is. It adds a whole layer of thinking.
Could you give an example? Like from the patent itself?
Sure. Let's say you have a domino in your hand, call it domino A. It's marked, let's say, 3, then 1 in the middle, then 3 on the other end, 3, 1, 3.
Okay, 3, 1, 3. Got it.
And you want to place it to complete a cross shape on the table. There's already a piece B laid out horizontally and another piece C is laid vertically, meeting at a corner.
Right.
When you place your 3, 1, 3 piece down, its bottom field, the 3 spots, has to match the middle field of that horizontal piece B. Let's say B also has a 3 there.
Okay, match 1. 3 fits 3.
And at the exact same time, the middle field of your piece, which is 1 spot.
The 1 in 3, 1, 3.
Right. That 1 has to be placed right next to the end, the head end, of that other piece, C. And piece C must also have a 1 spot on its end.
Wow. Okay, so my one piece, the 3, 1, 3, has to match a 3 on one side and a 1 on the other side, connecting two different existing pieces at a right angle.
That's it. You need one tile from your hand that solves two problems at once across that perpendicular join.
That turns it from like a casual matching game into, a multi-axis puzzle. I could see how that would make it more interesting, like the patent claims. More challenging.
Definitely more challenging. But here's another twist, something that came out of the geometry almost by accident.
No.
The grid structure, when you lay it out properly, it naturally creates these empty spaces between the tiles. The patent calls them free squares, F.
Empty squares, why are they important? Just looks neater.
No, it's functional. The patent says this grid, with its empty squares, considerably facilitates the overseeing of the game, especially for children.
Okay, how does an empty space help you oversee the game? Especially for kids.
Think of it like white space on a web page or negative space in art.
Okay. It helps guide your eye, reduces clutter.
That's the idea. Because the tiles are in neat rows and columns, not a jumbled mess, and you have these clear, empty spots. The players, especially kids who might get overwhelmed by a long, messy chain of normal dominoes,
Right.
they can apparently overlook very easily the different possibilities. It's easier to see where a piece could potentially go because the grid is organized.
So yeah, the empty squares act like visual cues showing the available slots.
Kind of, yeah. It's like a built-in organizing system that just happens because of the grid needed for compactness.
That's really smart design. The need to save space leads to a game that's both harder strategically but somehow visually clearer to play. Amazing.
It's a neat side effect.
And the patent was clear. This is about the piece itself, the physical object, not a specific set of rules for scoring or anything.
Exactly. That's the crucial legal point. Schubert patented the tool, the 3-field domino piece that makes the grid possible. He even mentions, an example set might use 40 dominoes with 0 to 3 spots.
Okay.
But he explicitly says you could use other distinctive markings, such as dashes, pictures, or surfaces of different colors. The specific game you play with them isn't the invention. The 3-field piece is the invention. Its structure is the legacy. Short silence transition.
Wow. That 3-field tile. Such a tiny change on the surface, but it really did transform the whole thing, didn't it? Turned a simple line game into this spatial puzzle.
It really did. A lot packed into one extra square.
So we want to hear from you listening now. We've gone through Schubert's 1935 domino patent, piece by piece. What details struck you the most? What was the most maybe surprising thing about this 3-field design?
Yeah, what stood out? We covered quite a bit, from tight spaces in 1930s Germany to tricky geometry.
We did. So maybe for you, was it just the core reason? The fact that someone patented a game piece specifically to let people play on a relatively very narrow play surface, solving that tiny table problem.
That's a good one. Or maybe it was the leap in how you actually play, going from matching just one spot to suddenly needing to match two spots, often at right angles, making it way more strategic.
Or perhaps it was that unexpected benefit. The way the grid and those free squares actually make it easier to see your options, especially for kids. That kind of built-in clarity.
The visual organization aspect.
Right. So what was it for you? Jump onto our social media, find the posts for this deep dive, and let us know your favorite patent fact.
You'd love to hear what you think.
And hey, while you're there, tell us what inventive legacy you think we should tackle next. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your shows so you don't miss future deep dives.
And reviews really help other people find the show, too.
Please do leave one if you have a moment. Short silence transition.
Okay, so just to wrap up the main takeaway today, Philipp Schubert's 1935 patent, US1998526A. It wasn't just about adding a spot.
Well,
It was a really clever structural change, turning the classic two-field domino into a three-field piece, specifically allowed for building that compact perpendicular grid,
which in turn made the game more complex strategically.
but also, surprisingly, maybe easier to visually track, all stemming from the need to save a bit of table space.
It really shows how sometimes the most ingenious solutions are just small tweaks to existing ideas. One extra square changing everything.
Proof that innovation can be subtle.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into one of our favorite patent prints.
We hope you enjoyed digging into the story behind the domino.
Definitely tune in next time. We'll be grabbing another iconic patent from the Artworkium collection and exploring the legacy baked into its design.
We look forward to it. Thanks again for your loyalty and for listening.
Until next time.